Hello, Danhausen here. Danhausen here to let you know that you are watching Dre41 Gaming. They do video games of some sort. Who knows? Danhausen doesn't. But you're very nice, very evil, do time. And if you do not watch this channel, you shall rue the day.
Would have to be the Great Muta. For me, the Great Muta is, and if people don't know who the Great Muta is, you must have been living under a rock, because he's still wrestling to this day. He's been wrestling since the 80s, okay? He is the Japan equivalent to The Undertaker, I would say. That's what I always compare him to people who don't, know who the Great Muta is. Yeah. He's been able to reinvent himself throughout 30 years in wrestling. From the early days of the NWA, where he was, facing off against Sting, and they say he was from the Orient. Ooh, boy, different times. Ooh, boy. With the face paint, the poison mist, creating the Shining Wizard, to wearing the masks, to having multiple characters, not just the Great Muta, but Kokeshi Muso, Keiji Muto, being in the NWO, you know what I'm saying? Starting his own company, multiple championships, Triple Crown. I mean, this man has faced off against Hulk Hogan. I mean, he's done it all. Like, this guy is a top guy in Japan. And you probably most recently seen him on Impact Wrestling. Impact has a great relationship with New Japan. They were able to get the Great Muta on there multiple times, and it's just his character. It's bold. His character stands out. It's colorful. You know what I'm saying? His mannerisms change based on the character that he's portraying. Some of the best moments that I was able to see was him joining the NWO on Nitro. Him winning the tag team championships with Vampiro on Nitro. I mean, that was good to see him win the championship. A championship is a championship, especially when the character doesn't speak English or doesn't speak English well. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see a character like that you gravitate towards win a championship. And just being able to look back at his older matches. I mean, man, when he was the Great Muta going up against Jushin Thunder Liger, and he tore off like Liger's upper outfit, and it was like a dark a Liger, and it was why he had like a sickle. It was crazy. Like it didn't even make sense. I don't understand it, but I loved it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll have to say the Great Muta, Keiji Muto, either or, is definitely in my top 5.
Of course. I mean, I got on the Muta train a little late because I was broke, but when I finally figured out what Japan wrestling was about, Great Muta is up there, but my second one, since we're over across the lake somewhere, we'll go ahead and
we're gonna keep this one in Japan. I'm gonna go with Hayabusa. Now, Hayabusa more or less is almost the same as the Great Muta, in a shorter span of time. He was definitely able to reinvent himself within the span of probably less than 5 years. He went through multiple characters. I mean, he's like a high-flying, hardcore version of Mick Foley. I mean, you got, I can't even say his real name, but he got the H character, dark side of Hayabusa, the regular Hayabusa, the strange one where he was wearing like really short white jean shorts that was very odd, but to each his own.
It worked, I guess.
I mean, yeah, and also he was in this crazy match with Mr. Ganotsuke. I can't even say his name right either. I've got to look at it to read it right, or to say it right. And the special referee was Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels was treating it like a normal one-on-one match when it was a hardcore match. And like he was counting, and Hayabusa was like, "No DQ, no DQ." Like, why are you counting, Shawn? Are you high? Probably was. This was late 90s.
More than likely.
Yeah.
Or them
he wasn't in WWF at the time, so there you go.
Oh yeah, no, he was probably
Yeah, he was on all the drugs. But yeah, Hayabusa, man, because he was high flying. Maybe, well, not maybe, but definitely to his detriment, he was high flying. But he was exciting to watch. Colorful character, different masks. I mean, in this time, like if he was to exist now, he would be like, for me personally, if he knew English, he'd be right up there with Rey Mysterio. I mean, with just the colorful outfits, the high flying, the acrobatics, you know what I'm saying? Just the look of him was something that you could put on a t-shirt, make as a toy, put in the video game, and people will automatically, yo, who was that? You know what I'm saying? And just exciting matches that he had, not just against Asushi Onita, but matches that he had against Sabu. He had a great rivalry with Sabu, great matches against Masato Tanaka, Mike Awesome. I mean,
that's who I was thinking about at first. I was like, Hayabusa is like Sabu with a mask.
See, I could see how people say that because their pants look almost the same and they both wear a sash.
I wasn't thinking about that. I was talking about how, like, when Hayabusa goes flying.
Yo, I remember seeing this match with him and Jushin Liger, right? Jushin was just coming out for his entrance, and literally Hayabusa just swan dived on him with his entrance gear on. Yeah. And Jushin has
just pure psycho. Just
go for it. It don't even matter. Like,
he said to his detriment sometime, and it Sabu was the same way. He just, to his detriment, he would just throw himself at whatever was in front of him.
Funny enough, there was a time where Sabu actually wore the Hayabusa mask. I'm surprised nobody has ever made him with that attire, but whatever, it's fine.
Sounds like you got work to do.
No. So Hayabusa is definitely up there for me. I mean, he was the top guy in FMW. Him and Asushi Onita, right there. I would give it a little bit more to Hayabusa only because he probably was more marketable than Onita, and just a colorful character overall. Yeah. Even to this day, you get to see a lot of people emulate his moves. Seth Rollins with the Phoenix Splash, also known as the Flair 450. You get to see a lot of people, Jericho doing the Lion Soul. That was Hayabusa's thing. The springboard swanton, that was a Hayabusa thing, So Hayabusa definitely up there for me as one of my top 5.
Okay. All right. So across the pond we stay, because my third one is my next pick, which is CM Punk. CM Punk, the straight edge savior, you know what I'm saying, where his whole heel persona started with, and here's the funny thing, I got on him right before he left Ring of Honor. So I was like, oh, yo, this dude CM Punk, he got this whole thing where, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs, and he's better than you. I wonder who else says that he's better than people now, because using the same thing. But, wow.
And this is just like, that was such a cool character. And it was like, oh, he signed with WWE. Oh, okay, cool. So I'm going to get to see him. And I ain't seen him for a while. I was like, well, I guess he ain't going nowhere. But then he made his debut. He smoked Just Incredible's boots on his debut.
The WWE ECW.
Yeah, they did Just Incredible filthy in that match.
They did him absolutely filthy.
Like, they let CM Punk shine, I think, too much. Like, they washed Just Incredible. Like, I would have been like, make it, a tough match, but, CM Punk still wins. No, just go out there and watch Just Incredible and just leave it as that. But just his character was something different, where it was just like, he came in, I don't smoke, don't drink, don't do drugs, and I'm here for competition. And that was something that I gravitated towards because I don't smoke or drink, don't do drugs or anything like that. So it was like a character who was like that and won and wasn't considered a bad guy. I was just like, oh, okay, that's what's up. Like, I like that because he can go out, he could wrestle, and he could cut promos. And then it was just like, as he built his character up and, went back and forth with, Jeff Hardy and became a heel and did the Straight Edge Society. That just built his character up even more because he went from an indie darling to now, you know, a WWE superstar. You know what I'm saying? Because they always got to have that character change where it's like larger than life and completely unbelievable. Like, first off, if he really started a cult, the federal government would come after him eventually for some reasons.
Well, I don't know. You know, WWE likes to do attempted murders.
Yeah. It's amazing what they do.
And a whole bunch of stuff.
Necrophilia, all sorts of nice things. They don't even care. It's fine. When he was able to evolve into that, and then the Best in the World, which was like the ultimate form, like that was his Super Saiyan God mode Saiyan form, where it was just like he was known everywhere. The Cult of Personality song that got him, you know, super over and recognized, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like right there, it was just like, yo, like y'all got a monster on your hands. And, you know, just like when he cut promos about his frustration, and the pipe bomb promo was like, you really felt it because it felt real. You know what I'm saying? Like he made that promo not sound like a promo, but like he's coming from the heart. You know, so that was always something that I gravitated towards.
I feel like he's in AEW now. Like it's hard to, and I'm enjoying his run so much in AEW because it's a lot harder in AEW to blur the lines with him. Yeah, when it's actually CM Punk and when it's his real self. Like his whole thing with MJF.
Oh,
I was glued to the screen.
Like they brought it to where like you don't really, because a lot of the times they don't sit there, like sometimes wrestlers be like, oh, I grew up watching you, but they don't make it personal. You know what I'm saying?
That like, got real personal, and
you know, and it was
just like it was the way it made you feel. I mean, the promo battles, because both of them can talk. Oh Lord,
yes. And it's like MJF stepped out of just being a heel, and he like really showed emotion. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that right there was a huge thing, because it was like, wait a minute, like maybe he really feels some type of way. Like, yo, like you, like I believed in you. You helped me get through my days, and you left, and that messed me up. You feel me? Like who does that in professional wrestling, where they say, yo, like I was messed up because you stopped wrestling? You feel me? Like it's stuff that you have not seen, and CM Punk, I think, brings that out in the top performers. Yeah, there's people that he just wrestles that he's not in a program with, but when he sets his sights on a storyline, it means so much. You know what I'm saying? It does. And CM Punk will always be, you know, within my top 5. Like I said, just the man has been able to evolve, switch up his character, and, you know, just be one of those top performers. He doesn't have to have a 5-star match because he has that character, but he also has a great move set too, you know. So that's even
though Kenta keeps calling him about wanting his move back.
That's Kenta's. We're gonna put it out there. It is Kenta's.
We won't talk about that though.
We'll leave that one alone. But yeah, that's my third pick. That's CM Punk.
So with my fourth one, I'm gonna go back to WCW just a bit, because this was when I got introduced to him, and that was
my next one. A lot of the choices that I choose for my top 5 always are because, number one, they've been in the business for a long time and they were able to evolve their characters. You always appreciate that because they stay within the times and they know when to evolve, and their character doesn't get stale. My next pick is going to have to be the King of Kings, the Game, Triple H. Now, people probably they thinking like, yo, wait a minute, Triple H, like, no, look, Triple H did a lot for the business. I mean, he gave us the best years of NXT.
That I'll give him.
You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Wing was gone for that reason.
Yo, he gave us the new generation of DX, which you know spawned, you know, one of the greatest tag teams that I ever watched in my life. But let's stick with Triple H. So initially, what brought me
Kane and X-Pac? Sorry.
Stop. Oh, wow. You being disrespectful. You are being disrespectful. Sir. One.
Respectfully.
Right. You're right. So initially it was because he was a Connecticut blue blood, right? So I'm like, damn, a wrestler from Connecticut, which he really wasn't from Connecticut, but it's fine. For me, because I'm from Connecticut, I'm going to gravitate towards a wrestler from Connecticut. So I'm just like, oh, yeah, we're both from Connecticut. He's rich and got women to open the ropes for him so he can walk in. It's cool. I'm going to run with him. Even if he's a bad guy, I got to run with him because he's from Connecticut. First and foremost, right?
That loyalty.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look, he's not even on the Broncos anymore, and I still got his jersey. Shout out to Von Miller. So, then he evolved his character, and he got after the curtain call, he got set up with Shawn Michaels. Now they're a faction, and now they're D-Generation X. Now as D-Generation X, now, they're heels, they're the bad guys, and even then I'm still gravitating towards him. And now he's running with Shawn Michaels, who's the top guy. So it's like now he's getting these high-profile matches, which is good. You know what I'm saying? And I always appreciated the fact that he was always in storylines with Shawn Michaels, whether if he, of course, he was second fiddle to Shawn Michaels. I mean, who wouldn't be? You know what I'm saying? But you still knew he had talent. It wasn't like a situation where it was like a Marty Jannetty and they don't know what to do with him. You know what I'm saying? Then when Shawn Michaels left and Triple H became the leader of D-Generation X, and then he brought in X-Pac, then he got the New Age Outlaws, which to my opinion was the greatest homegrown WWE tag team point blank period. You could sit there, now I know people are going to sit there and say, well, what about the Hardy Boys? Or what about Edge and Christian? Number one, and this is just my opinion, is that the New Age Outlaws, and I don't want to, jump in too much with the New Age Outlaws, but with them, they were such a team that have been so great over the years that when you put them together, even back in like 2014, 2015, they were still level. It wasn't like, oh, well, this wrestler is better than that one. It's not like a Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels situation. Both of them were on an even playing field. You can't sit there and say that with the Hardy Boys because people are always going to say Jeff is better than Matt. You can't say that with the Dudleys because they'll always say Bubba is better than Devon. Or Edge and Christian because they'll always say Edge is better than Christian. But with the New Age Outlaws, you always felt like they're set, like both of them. Yeah, that's just my opinion.
I could see it. I could see that now. I hadn't thought about it like that, but I can see that now. Okay. Even though Billy's still wrestling and he's still
but still, I mean, like I said, as far as notoriety or fan love, they are even. You feel me? It's not like one's going to drown out the other.
Yeah, if they were to come back together now for a one-off, I think it would still be
exactly
on that level. Yeah, I can see that.
And then just with the DX thing, that was a revolution. Did they drive it into the ground eventually? Yeah, they did. But then he was able to, beat the Game, and then the Cerebral Assassin, and then the King of Kings, which is more or less the same type of character, just different monikers, and the way he dressed kind of changed up a little bit in the evolution stage where he was wearing a suit and tie and he had that nasty facial. I hated that. I was just like, dog, you look. I know he got that from what's the dude? Motorhead, the guy. He got it from him or whatever. But it was just like over the years, multiple time champion, and then not only utilizing his power within WWE to just only keep himself over, but then to bring in the next class of professional wrestling, and trying to keep professional wrestling in WWE, which he did with NXT. Right. So I mean, Triple H has definitely shown like that he is definitely worth the top 5 for me, and so that's why he's in my group.
Well, I don't know why I'll be honest, for a long time, I had a problem with Triple H. And it wasn't terrorizing in WCW was a terrifying experience to even witness, and I didn't realize
you do know that was one of his names, right?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't realize it was him for a while, and I was like, really?
That feathered blonde hair.
Oh my God. And then his whole thing with Regal, I thought that would have been, maybe that's my problem, because William, I will be honest, he's an honorable mention.
No, let's keep the honorable mention at the end.
Okay. But I thought that I wish that he had stayed with William Regal longer. maybe that was just me. Like I see where his career took off when he got away, but I don't know. We'll talk about that at the end, so I can keep him in the honorable mentions. But I don't. I just never gravitated towards the Triple H like that. I never did.
You had to be disrespectful. You had to do it. You had to.
It's me. Yeah. I don't understand. Like you've
known
me long
Baltimore.
enough.
What can we do? It's fine.
DC, Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? So
bad places, but it's fine.
All right, fair enough. Can't even fight it. All right, so
my final one. Now, see, I know a lot of people are going to sit there and already say, yo, are you serious? Like, how was this in your top 5? Now, listen, the reason why I sit there and say this is because sometimes you got to recognize greatness before it's 100% greatness. Maybe it's at 70%, 75% greatness. It's not
still loading.
Yeah, it's still loading. You feel me? And it's like from the accomplishments that they've already made, you got to assume that they're going to be one of the top wrestlers in history. And my last pick is going to be Thunder Rosa. Now, like I said before, the reason why I say this is because she's building upon her greatness. Not only is she the first Mexican-born AEW Women's Champion, but she's also been NWA Women's Champion. She's been on Lucha Underground, where she performed great matches under a mask. And for a minute there, I didn't even know it was her. To Serpent Queen, like
really,
yeah, that was Thunder Rosa. Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Okay, then. I didn't know that.
I didn't recognize it either for a minute. I was like, damn, they kind of got the same body shape. Okay, that is her. Okay, and then she confirmed it. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that is her. Okay, cool. MMA career, not the greatest, but MMA is MMA. So, she has evolved from
Charles
initially.
Montgomery Punk did MMA. Yeah.
Huh?
Charles Montgomery Punk did MMA. So.
Oh my goodness. So you messed me up. As far as evolution goes in her character, there hasn't really been too much of it. She changed her character up a little bit with her and Holiday when they were tag team partners, just changing up the face paint, the matching attires, things like that. When she was brought into the NWA, she was more of initially like the Muscle, sort of like the Sicario, and NWA, and then rose up at NWA to become a women's champion. And now, in AEW doing these, lights out matches, being able to do those, having the fans behind her,
matches she's had with,
like having a tremendous rivalry with Britt Baker.
That's the one.
Like that right there, you know what I'm saying? Like they see the value in her. And that's why I have to say, like, she, definitely is in my top 5. Now, like I said, it's early in her career, even though she's around our age, but I think she got like a good 10. She got a good, because with women wrestlers, they don't stay in the game that long. Like let's be honest. A lot of them don't stay in the game that long. So, you know what I'm saying? You can't quantify greatness based upon the male counterpart, because there's not many women that pull off a 30 joint.
Yeah.
You feel me? That are consistently on TV. Like you don't see that. So I never try to quantify a woman's role in wrestling based upon how long she's been in the game compared to a guy.
No, I don't. I don't really do it for the guys either, because
sometimes you got to though.
Sometimes you do, but like I would go back to DDP. Like he was in the game before.
Yeah, but it was building.
Right.
But it was building towards it though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't. I don't know.
No, go ahead.
I just didn't. I can't put my words together now. Don't worry about me.
Oh my goodness.
He was in the game before, and then he was a valet, and then he was a driver, and then he became like wrestler DDP.
Right. So,
but it wasn't like he was wrestling all the time.
But you're in the business though.